afternoon, class. My name is Sarah.
My name's Hannah.
I'm Bryan. My name is Marcos.
I'm Jesus.
We're going to be giving you guys a little bit of information about our Utopia. We call it the post-apocalyptic. Okay, so here's a little bit about our post-apocalyptic sanction. So how it began. It began with nuclear war in 2020. It was right before Trump was going to get let out of office, and him and Kim Jong-un declared nuclear war against each other. Soon after, in 2021, Trump ordered a vacating of Hawaii because he was worried that Pearl Harbor would happen again. So Hawaii was just an easy target for anyone, and one nuke could completely destroy it. So he decided to have everyone leave Hawaii and go find safety elsewhere. So then World War III begins. A lot of other countries start jumping in, just how in other world wars they have, except this time it's nuclear war. That's in 2023, and by 2025 pretty much everything's in ruins. There's hardly any survivors, but the little survivors that we do have migrate to Hawaii because there was no one there and it was not affected by any of the nuclear damage. So a little bit about Hawaii. It's 6,423 square miles. The pre-apocalypse population was 1,200,011,537. There are many volcanoes. Some are still active. The average summer temperature is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and the average winter temperature is about 50. Pineapples are like the most famous plants that grow there, but many other plants are abundantly grown because of the warm, wet atmosphere. So it's just a really good place to grow food, to have livestock, and to fish, obviously, because it borders the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, so our preamble is we, the citizens of Utopia, which is called PASS, in the exercise of our own sovereignty and distress of the greatest possible degree of liberty and independence, hereby declare ourselves to be resolved, because resolved, we want to be endowed with all mechanisms leading to security in the exercise of our fundamental rights in our Utopia. Eager, because we need to use every endeavor to promote the values of liberty, justice, and individual rights, so we can practice and strengthen the relations in our Utopia. And willing, because we need to collaborate all our efforts in communication and mechanisms, so we can promote a better health system for our future generations. Our motto: in quietness and confidence we shall find strength. And what this means is that since the war caused tensions between the whole world, we branched off into Hawaii, and with what we had, we eventually found our strength, and we were built on hope, so we went off of that.
For our Utopia's flag, we wanted something that would define the Utopia itself and the story to how it became. So for the flag, we decided on the colors gold, white with a black border. And the reasoning behind that is because white represents the purity of like a new land, a new beginning. The gold represents gold defines it's a rare material that comes from Earth. So just like Hawaii is rare to us, so we need to it's valued highly by us. That's why we use the color gold. Also, the symbols within our flag is an anchor, and that resembles stability, and a dove that depicts the tranquility of our Utopia.
Okay, so the symbols we chose to symbolize our Utopia is a dove for peace, because ever since the war, war invades one's harmony with one another. So all we want is peace within our Utopia. And from that, we had an anchor for stability, because we want to stabilize the peace we have with people. We don't want any tensions between anybody, and we want to get better, not get worse. So we want to get better and then stabilize, get better, stabilize, and not drop down. So the dove and an anchor.
So my name is Bryan, and the type of government we will have is a totalitarian government,
which is of or relating to a system of government that centralizes and dictates and requires complete sovereignty to the state. So it will be ruled by a single party, which will consist of our group that takes total control over any decision. So whether it be military, enforcement of punishment, like we said, if it's that bad of a punishment, we will exile them out of the state. And also, depending on if it's not that bad of a crime, we will have like a certain punishment, like dictating where they should go, like bad punishments, like if they should go search for like anything. So yeah, that's good.
Okay, as part of our economy, we have a bartering system. So that's we use that in means of payment. For example, if somebody wanted a service done for them or they wanted some type of good, they would exchange a good or a service in return. So the benefit about this is that both sides of the trade benefit from it. They both get something that they want in return. For example, if you need some carpentry work done and you're a blacksmith, you and the carpenter can work out a deal to where you can do some type of blacksmithing for him in return for his carpentry work for you. As well as if you have two goods that you want, like each one of you want, you can exchange them without having to pay any money. The whole reason for the bartering system is because in this post-apocalyptic world, money has no more value because there's no banks, there's no way of producing more, so it's literally just paper.
Okay, so in Hawaii, there's a lot of islands. There's like technically 147 like little isles, but we have some major islands, and so different groups of people can live on each one of them. The major island is Hawaii itself, and then there's a lot of other little sub-islands.
Okay, so daily life will consist of farming, fishing or hunting, and building, like they used to do back in like the 1800s and all that. Way back then. So what will happen is fishing and hunting will be used for the communities. We'll bring in food as much as possible. Farming is similar also. They'll also helping families, and then building buildings or anything like that to help go and help search and rescue for other people. Right, good. Okay, so transportation will include walking, use of animals, and even wagons. So the reason we won't be using cars is because of the lack of use of fuel. So whenever we need to pull heavy things, we'll use a horse, an ox, or a cow to pull wagons with. If we need to get somewhere faster than walking, we'll just use a horse. And if we need to get from island to island, we'll use a boat to get there.
So for another thing is like the trades and jobs. The kids that go to school, they'll be learning certain trades for their jobs when they're older. So everyone's got a certain trade or job that they need to do. They'll all be instructed on how to do it from the time that they're in school as children. So all these trades are made so that way they can all help to the community and help give back and support the utopia that we've made. For example, you could be a leather worker, you could be a carpenter, farmer, blacksmith, you could be one of the teachers that helps teach all the different trades. You could be a medicine man in place of doctors because modern medicine is going to go down. And there's other ones, like etc. There could be other jobs that we can figure out. But all these jobs, like everyone's going to have a specific job so that way they can all put back to the community and support the utopia.
Alright, so like we said, they're going to go to school and learn a specific trade. So it's mandatory to complete 13 years of grade school to learn that trade, and college is optional.
Okay, so for police enforcement, we came up with the Fireflies, and what the Fireflies is, it's a mixture of both military and police force. They're the ones on the island that protect the people from any criminal activity. We have two types of Fireflies. There's silver flies that protect the people on the Utopia itself, and we have golden flies that are on boats in the ocean away from the island, collecting survivors that want to come to our Utopia. They're the ones who enforce the strike system as well. And what this is that everybody on the island is allowed three chances of bad choices. And after that third strike or crime, they are to be docked off the island to the mainland where we ran from. but this only applies for small crimes like vandalism. And for major crimes like, for example, murder or rape, the government decides what to do with those people, but usually it's just the same as the striking system after the third strike. It's to return them to the mainland where we ran from and for them to survive for their life.
Alright, so in our utopia, the family structure is pretty much up to the citizens. There will be no laws against families. And so the island is pretty small, but at the time that the island is becoming populated heavily and we're worried about overpopulation, there may be laws to prevent or limit the amount of offspring produced by each family annually, just so we can ensure that the island can produce food and resources for us and we're not taking too much from the island. So also under family structure, the laws set like for the Utopia, we're not gonna tell you like how to live your life or like your sexual orientation or anything like that. We just don't want any incest and fornicating with children. Rituals and traditions. There will be no designated rituals required. Individuals have the freedom to enjoy whatever rituals they so please as long as it doesn't harm the island or other citizens. We will make our own tradition as when we get to the island. We're going to make the day that we escaped from nuclear radiation and started our new world. Citizens can have traditions as well as long as they are within the guidelines and laws designed by the original survivor. Alright, so religion, pretty much the same thing as traditions and rituals. The citizens are allowed to pick and follow whatever religion they choose, as long as it doesn't harm anyone else or citizens or property of the island. Religious practices will be allowed to anyone as long as they don't harm other humans or harvest or slaughter animals for the mere purpose of religion, not eating. So religion is a freedom that will be protected by our laws. So we'll protect like the religious rights of our citizens, and that's it. I was gonna say something.
Okay, so in conclusion, our utopia is based on peace, prosperity, freedom, community, hope, and from the dust of the nuclear war, we shall rise, and then we vow that we'll never repeat the history. So that's the basis for everything. With our government, we have the totalitarianism is mainly just so that our foundation and the peace that we need will stay intact, because we the committee that began this whole utopia are the ones who get to represent our peace. And then with the community, it's just appreciating the people that are left on the earth and trying to create a new foundation with them. With freedom, even though we're a totalitarian government, everyone's free to express themselves in whatever way and to become whatever they want to become, as long as it helps our society and helps our community. And then we can prosper, even though now there's no money. We'll prosper through just getting along every day at a time and not falling backwards into what we used to do.
Okay, so we hope you enjoyed our presentation of our utopia.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, you can upload them on the Q&A.
Deuces, bros.
What's that?
PSA out.
Okay, so for our police enforcement, we got creative and we came up with a group called...
Okay, cool. Thank you, Seuss. So my name is Bryan.
So, post-apocalyptic...
Wait, time out, what did you say? I wasn't paying attention.
The trade.
or bad choices. And after the third crime, they are to be banished off the Utopia immediately, never to return. And but this only applies for small crimes like vandalism and traffic violations. But like for larger crimes, the government will decide on what to do with the criminal, either executing them by dropping them in the middle of the ocean or taking them back to the mainland.
I'll just talk mainly. So this is